My name is Alyssa Jones, and I am the Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Medicine and Performance, and I primarily work with the men's soccer, men's basketball, and softball teams.
How did you first get into athletic training as a career path?
I got into athletic training from shadowing my athletic trainer in high school. He came around my senior year, and I had never heard of athletic trainers before. I had only gone to physical therapist. So seeing him in action and on the sidelines really gave me a different perspective, because I did want to do physical therapy, and then I was really missing that component of being on the sidelines. So that's what working with him showed me, and ever since then I knew I wanted to be an athletic trainer.
Did you play any sports when you were in high school, or is that how you ended up there, and do you play anything now?
I played basketball and softball in high school. I stopped playing basketball around my 10th grade year, kept up with softball. That's the love of my life, honestly. I stopped playing my senior year. I really don't play now. Got too many injuries that I didn't keep up with.
You're from Alabama, if I'm remembering rightly, and obviously softball is queen there to football's king. And you got a chance to work with a couple different softball programs and some other teams when you were at West Alabama. You also worked at UAB with the softball team there. What was the experience like for you working with a high-end Division I softball program like UAB, and what did you take from that?
It was honestly crazy. So the athletic trainer that I got to work with was actually from Connecticut. So she actually knows Rob, crazy small world. She was amazing. She gave me the opportunity to come in and just basically be so hands-on with everything in their program and really work with their athletes, which you don't really see much at Division I programs when they have student interns. So I was very grateful for that. She showed me so many new techniques of how to be a better athletic trainer that you typically aren't learning from the textbooks in the classroom. Athletic training is definitely one of those things where you learn by doing. At least I do, and I would say several other ATs would say the same. So she showed me a lot in terms of rehab and how to better help the athletes mentally and physically return to play. She was an all-around just amazing human being to work under, but they also allowed me to work with their strength and conditioning coaches. I got to communicate with the coaches one-on-one, and those are all aspects that you don't really get to do in an actual athletic training program. So her allowing me and UAB allowing me to take that next step and basically get to act as a certified athletic trainer was a big deal for me, and it really set me up for success going into my future jobs.
Your next step in your career brought you to the Northeast at Brandeis. You know, being from down south and having done all of your education down there, what made you decide that you wanted to make that kind of a leap to come to Massachusetts?
Coming to Massachusetts was more so of pushing myself out of my own comfort zone. I very much was a person that in college I primarily ended up working football, and while I loved those years of football and football still holds a special place in my heart, I always knew that it wasn't end game, and that it's not the only sport out there that needs the attention of an athletic trainer. So coming to the North was really an eye-opener because Brandeis doesn't have football. So giving that attention and dealing with different populations of athletes really allowed me to really open up my services and teaching myself further things of how to take care of these athletes and different ways that different injuries work in other sports. Because again, to me, football was everything. If I didn't know anything in football, then that was a me problem. But moving to the North, I'm not gonna lie, I'd never seen lacrosse before, ever. So moving somewhere where lacrosse is one of the biggest sports, it's scary. So really pushing myself to come out of that comfort zone is kind of what brought me here and what's kind of lit a fire under me to keep going.
Now your next step was to come here to AIC. What about AIC, when you first saw the opening for an athletic trainer, made you say, this is somewhere that would be a good next step for me?
I say the same thing when anybody ever asks me this question, because AIC was different for me. AIC wasn't, I'm looking for a job, I just need a job. AIC was an availability that when I got here, it felt like home. These students feel like home to me. I feel like, I almost want to say, like, I feel like they're my kids most of the time because I care for them, I cry with them, and I celebrate with them just like a parent should. The kids here changed everything for me. The student body, I tell everyone this, even when I interviewed for my position now, you don't know diversity until you come to AIC. And that is something that I live by because I learn every day from the student athletes at this school, whether it's something about their culture, their language, honestly anything. And I love learning about the world, and I love learning about the people that we take care of, just like we teach them about what we're doing for them. So it's here I feel like I get the mutual business line of, wow, you're learning from me, but I'm learning from you as well. And I love that about here.
And then as far as next steps, because you had the opportunity when Rob moved up to the athletic director's chair, it created an opening in the athletic training room, and you went for the assistant AD position that had been Rob's position, and you got it. What made you feel like that was the right move, and what's it been like to have to balance? You're still an athletic trainer, still doing all of those things, but now you also have to balance the administrative stuff too, and that's obviously a lot. You're leading a room with 4 athletic trainers, you have interns, strength and conditioning you oversee technically as well, so a lot there for you to do. How do you keep it all straight? That's so much.
I'm still trying to figure it out, so maybe you can give me some tips as well. I still get scared every day coming to this job, but knowing that I come to work with other admin and even just like other staff that I feel supported in my role. So like I've made this very clear of like, I'm very young in the athletic training world. I know that. I still have so much to learn, but I'm gonna learn it while also learning how to do this admin job because the students here deserve someone that's gonna be here long term and that's gonna care for them long term, and they're not going through a revolving door. In terms of getting everything squared away and doing things in a timely manner, it's difficult of trying to manage the admin versus the athletic training side because obviously the athletic training side is my favorite side. Nobody likes sitting at a desk doing emails all day. So it's difficult. In the beginning, I was really bad about taking my work home because I wanted to focus so much on athletic training during the day. I've gotten much better about managing my time, at least I like to believe. So overall, I want to say that I've been consistent with keeping up with all of these things and trying to get better at the position that I've gotten to. Because at the end of the day, I wanted to be here, and I plan to be here for a long time. So every day I try to get better.
What is it like for you, especially as a young athletic trainer and a young administrator, to work for Rob and know that he sat in the seat that you sat in, both as a trainer and an administrator, just a year ago, and knowing that you have that support of somebody who is your boss who understands everything that you're going through?
It's definitely been a blessing in a sense of, as soon as I got this job, I told Rob, I said, expect that we're having Monday meetings for the remainder of the school year because I was so stressed out because, again, I had no idea what to do. But having him there as a support and a shoulder to lean on when I just need, almost like I just need a validation almost. Because, again, I'm good at what I do, but sometimes we all just need a little, hey, you're doing that right, or you're doing a good job. And Rob is what gives me that because whereas you hear it from other people, I take it more seriously from him because he knows the job. He knows what I'm supposed to be doing. And if I hear that I'm doing a good job from him, then I'm doing something right that day. And that's what I always strive to do. So having him there is just, it's a great resource, and I always know that I'm supported through him.
You've been here now 2 years, have gotten to be part of a lot of cool things. What is your favorite moment so far from your time at AIC?
Does it have to be sports related?
No, anything.
Because my favorite thing, and they do this on campus, is culture night. I don't know if you've ever been to culture night. Mm-hmm. Everybody should go to culture night. It is the best. The students and all the students, not just the student athletes, they go out. If they're from a different country, they'll do a dance or a song that relates to their heritage, and I love that. I went this past year and I got chills every time a different person came on that stage. It was seeing them embrace their heritage and fully embrace who they are. It's just like, it sends chills to your bones, I swear. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite events by far.
Somebody comes to you and says that they're thinking about getting into athletic training as a career, and you can give them one piece of advice. What would that piece of advice be?
That's a good question. Be a sponge. A sponge will get you through anything in life if you are a sponge. If you are someone that is open to all ideas, you're open to hearing what other people have to say and knowing that your way isn't always the right way, is the best thing that you could ever do for yourself, is to learn from other people. And athletic training is a ever-growing art, honestly. There's new articles, new sciences coming out every single day of ways that we could better our services and how people can heal better. So being a sponge and really taking the time to take all of that information in and to learn from the people around you is probably the most important thing that I would recommend to anyone.